All right, today's lesson is section 4.2, and we're going to continue to learn to write equations in slope-intercept form. So yesterday's lesson in section 4.1, when we wrote equations, we were either given the graph. Let's review this. We were, here we go, given the graph so that we could find the slope by using rise over run, and then we could find the y-intercept just by looking at the graph. Where did the graph cross the y-axis? Or they actually just gave us every piece of information we need. They said, hey guys, here's the slope, here's the y-intercept. We didn't have to find anything. So today's lesson, we're continuing along that same line, but they're not going to always give us all of the information. So as you can see here in this first example, they did give us the slope, but then they only gave me a point. They did not give me the y-intercept. So they're eventually going to take pieces of information away and require us to find that information using the skills and the knowledge that we have. So for the first example, let's go ahead and get started, and then we'll come back to linear extrapolation then. So it says write an equation of the line that passes through each point with the given slope. So there is a point slope formula, and we will get to that at some point, just not today. So we're going to keep using our y equals mx plus b. Okay, they already gave me my slope, so far I have y equals 1/2 x plus b. Right, the only other piece of information they gave me was an ordered pair, and an ordered pair has an x and a y. So we're going to use that information, substitute that in for our x and our y there, and then we can solve for b. So the y is -3 equals 1/2 times 2 plus b. So half of 2 is just 1, so we have -3 equals 1 plus b. And then you guys are all expert equation solvers. We're going to subtract 1 from both sides, and we're going to b is equal to -4. So now we have both pieces of information to write our answer. So our answer is y equals 1/2 x minus 4. Okay, not too bad, right? It's not that much harder. We just had to solve an equation to get our b value. All right, so we'll do b together, and then I will let you guys do a your turn. So again, there's my x, there's my y. They already told me that's my m, so substitute everything in. Y equals mx plus b. So we get 2 equals -3/4 times 8 plus b. So off to the side here, I'm going to do my -3/4 times 8/1. Don't forget, you also have a calculator. So we can multiply straight across or simplify first. I'll multiply straight across. So I get -24 divided by 4, which is -6. If I were going to simplify first, that would have become a 1, because 8 divided by 4 is 2, and I would have had -3 times 2, which is still -6. All right, so now I have 2 equals -6 plus b. And now again, if I want to get b by itself, I need to add 6 to both sides. So we get b is equal to 8. And again, don't go through all of that work and then forget to write your final answer. So my final answer is y equals -3/4 x plus 8. All right, so pause the video, take a second, and try the 2 your turns here. All right, so check both your turns. I see what all we had. Check both your turns. Make sure you substituted the y into the correct spot and then the x into the correct spot, okay? For our next example, they're going to give us even less information. And this is the hardest type of problem they can give you when asking you to write an equation of a line. So it says, write the equation of line that passes through these 2 points. So you do have an option. You could get out your stickies, put a graph on here, plot the 2 points, find the slope, rise or run, find where it crosses the y-intercept. But graphing is not always the best method for solving, because if you're not careful when you graph, your graph might be off, which means your y-intercept could be incorrect. So the best way to do this is algebraically. So what we're going to do, and it's going to take us 3 steps, very easy steps. We have actually done every single one of these steps so far to get this equation. So our first step is to find the slope. Okay. Once we find our slope, just to give you guys an idea of where we're going to use our slope and 1 point to find b. Well, step 2 is just what we did in the last 4 problems, so that's not too bad. And the third step is by far the easiest. It's to write your equation. Okay, so shouldn't be too bad, now that you guys see where we're going. So first of all, let's write our slopes. I'm going to write my points down here. That way I can zoom in and make this a little bit neater. So my slope formula, remember, is y sub 2 minus y sub 1 all over x sub 2 minus x sub 1. Okay, so let's label, that's not the color. Let's label our ordered pairs. So there's our 1s, and there's our 2s. All right, so substitute them in. -8 minus a -4 all over -2 minus a -3. So plus, 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 plus. So -8 plus 4 is -4. -2 plus 3 is a +1. So my slope is -4. Okay, we need that for step 2. So step 2, we said we were going to use our slope and one of our points to find b. So we have y equals mx plus b. So y is equal to -4x plus b. Now I'm going to tell you it does not matter which point you use. Doesn't matter. You just pick your favorite one. Typically I pick one that has all positive numbers, or if it has a 0 with it, or something that makes my life a little bit easier. But I'm just going to pick the second one here. So -8 equals -4 times -2 plus b. So -8 is equal to -8 plus b. Add 8 to both sides. And b is equal to 0, which is fine. And sometimes you guys get zeros in answer and you think that can't be right, or you just forget about it, but it's okay. So our last step, and probably the easiest one, is now using those 2 pieces of information, just like yesterday, and writing the equation of the line. So we have y equals -4x plus 0, okay? We don't necessarily have to write that plus 0, so y equals -4x. So it's not too bad. Okay, 3 easy steps. So take a moment, try the next your turn, and then come back and check your work. All right, so hopefully you were able to get y equals negative 2x plus 10. If not, go back, look at the steps, follow the steps, see where you made a mistake. All right, we have 2 more examples, and actually, we're going to skip example 2 here. It says example 2. Yep. I think it's really example 3, but we're going to skip these 2. Well, I'll show you how to set it up. I'm going to show you. It's literally it's what we just did. So they gave us the ordered pairs in chart form this time. So if I rewrite them as an ordered pair instead of charts, sorry, that's 1 comma, then it's exactly the same 2 problems that we just did. Okay? So, and one of these, the reason we're not doing them is because one of them, maybe I changed it. Nope, this one right here is the exact same ordered pairs as there. Okay? So let's scroll down to example 3. This is our very last one for the day. It says, write an equation on a line that has each pair of intercepts. Okay? So our y-intercept is already our b value. So please keep that in mind. That's going to save us a little bit of time. Our x-intercept, though, is 4. So think back to last chapter. The x-intercept is where the graph crosses the x-axis, which means all y values are 0. The y-intercept is when my y value is that, so in this case, negative 2. And that's where all of my points cross my y-axis and all of my x values are 0. So again, I already know my b value. All I have to do is find my slope. And now that I wrote my intercepts as ordered pairs, all I have to do is find my slope formula. So we're going to label each of them x1, y1, x2, y2. So we're going to get negative 2 minus 0 all over 0 minus 4. So negative 2 over negative 4, which is positive 1/2. So we can go right to our answer of y equals 1/2. Don't forget, b is negative 2, so 1/2 x minus 2. Okay. All right, one last your turn, guys. Pause the video right now. Check your work when you're done. All right, so hopefully you got y equals negative 2x plus 2. All right, so thanks for watching this. If you have any questions, just let me know. And then you can look into Schoology to see what I want you to do for practice work.